It's my favorite time of the week.
Your birthday.
What? No, silly. It's the Jack It Off podcast. It's February 10th, 2019, episode 46.
Why do you put a date
How you
on
living?
it?
How you doing? How you hanging?
It's not coming out.
It's for posterity reasons. I want to know where I am in my life when
because you're the only one
this
that
comes
listens
out.
to it.
Yeah. Dylan, if you haven't realized it by now, the only reason why we do this is because it creates a natural diary with which I can revisit the major milestones in my life.
Okay.
We're going to be able to go back to these, and assuming that what happens isn't based on the conversation that we've had on another podcast about the impermanency of digital data, assuming that this exists forever, that we can just rerun the tapes and have a good old laugh, like a Tell 'em Steve Dave type of thing, where you could go back to episode 10, where it's absolutely ridiculous and you have no idea what's going on, but they're just starting to establish those standards, the inside jokes and the little pieces, parts that make up a good long running podcast.
We'd have any of that, but no.
Look, I bet you I could probably, if I went back to the first few episodes, I bet you I could probably pull out a theme that we're still carrying today. Like Resident Evil and Castlevania, and like the games that we talk about all the time, that part, and then probably also like the overarching theme of like miserable motivated, like that concept of our whole thing of just this like sort of this nice roller coaster ride of just continuous feeling like a shit and then feeling great, and then
like a sine wave.
It is. There is, if anything, this podcast is a roller coaster of emotions and feelings and thoughts and ideas. A roller coaster that's poorly constructed and should have gotten shut down years ago. Because the mentally handicapped kid put his hands up a little bit too high and fell off that bitch.
We're the predator of Darian, like it just
100%.
shakes the shit out of you and you get a headache at the end, but you keep riding it every year because you like the consistency.
The Jack It Off podcast, I like the consistency. I just don't like the constant shaking and uncomfortable feeling I get.
Well, actually, we're not even the predator because that's usually open every year, and we show up.
The one that's always fucked up is the boomerang, and that's one of the newer ones.
Yeah, we're the boomerang.
It's one of those ones that's good for a moment, but then you realize that why would this be a thing that you would want to do every time?
And also, when you feel like riding it, it's the one that's always closed.
Exactly. That's where the month breaks come in, is the ride maintenance. You gotta really make sure that the gears are oiled up.
Gotta make sure the brake system works.
Yep, the brakes and the and what do you call the restraints? You gotta make sure those are good. So, because that shit goes backwards, you end up, if it goes backwards too fast, you go out the fucking front of it. It's called physics. Anyway. Right now, Dylan, that's what we're talking about. Right now, come on, it's everything. Dylan, you got to take that magic moment, and you got to do it right here and now, because that shit means everything. It's easily one of the greatest piano riffs, bar none. Like, it does, like, start with Rachmaninoff and go right the fuck up to Sammy Hagar, and it's still where it that's in the process of trying to create this music, right, that we're doing. In the process of doing this, what I've realized is that it's very easy to trivialize the simplicity of a song. It's two things. It's a duality. It's very easy to trivialize the simplicity of a song, and then it's also just as easy to trivialize the difficulty or to oversell the difficulty of a song. Like, you could go either way. One of the ones that always pisses me off, there's two artists that always piss me off. One of them is Francis and the Lights. You know, did
Yeah,
I think
know.
yeah.
It's like,
It's Peter Gabriel.
yeah,
You could say, okay, it's either Francis and the Lights or Peter Gabriel. But Francis and the Lights has a heavier emphasis on analog synthesizers. Everything sounds
never heard of them. What are those?
It's bleepy and bloopy, just like how you like.
What's
Surround your life with bleeps and bloops. But what my point is that the beauty of his work is that there's a constraint put on his production process that creates the music as simple as it sounds. There's the warm aspect to it, and then like you really in one song you're only going to hear two or three things. Usually it's like a sequencer, the synth itself, some sort of lead, and then like a bass. It's sometimes not even that. Like Just For Us is one of my favorite songs by him because it's just a driving bass, boom 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 boom. It's just 4/4, and then the synth is what makes it, and then he's stacking to create the next steps in the songs. He's not adding a million layers to create a chorus. You know what I mean? It's not where it's you have a simple bridge and then to hit your chorus, it's like, it's got to sound big, it's got to sound huge, I got to put 50 million layers or something on this, more drums, put more splashy, big, wide. His shit is just like, add a snare, that's going to be my chorus. Instead of just the 4/4 bass, like it's that's the front, and then he's just like, the chorus is going to come and then it's going to go boo, ka, boo, boo, ka. That's my chorus. That's why it always makes me mad, because what it proves is that songwriting, in a sense, really isn't about the refinement of a sound. It's about the refinement of the music itself. It doesn't come down to, I gotta, like, it's kind of like if you're mastering as you're creating, like you get so bogged down in, like, if I'm writing something on a keyboard or I'm writing something on the machine and I'm jamming out something and try to find like a pattern of some kind, it'll go down on the instrument that I picked, and then it'll go into the mix, and then it just sounds flat because all of these other things that I put in are just blown out. These sounds that are already pre-produced and all of this stuff. So now your whole time is just spent. I haven't even gotten everything in, and I'm just fucking with the levels. But what Francis and the Lights sounds like is a guy who just got in there, plugged the keyboard in, plugged the drum machine in, and plugged like a bass module in, and then just starts.
Yeah,
so he starts a stupid little sequence, and the boom.
You write the loop.
Boom.
You write the main loop, and then you write the piece to get into the loop, to get out of the loop, to spice up the loop. But it's all centered around that one loop. And like when you have all your stuff like sequence like that, it's a lot easier to do it that way.
And then everything sounds great right out of the box. You know what I mean? It sounds warm. You're not dealing with disparate like VSTs and all different types of instruments and sound plugins and effects and samples and like all these things that are of varying, sound quality and whatever. So you're not trying to constantly battle each individual sound. It's just there. And then the other one that always makes me mad is Sylvanesso, because Sylvanesso takes it to an even further level. Whereas Francis and the Lights has at least a sense that within the production there's at least some flourish, some sparkle. There is something there. There's more production. Hers is to the point where to create the kinds of swells in her music for choruses that she has, things just start stacking to the point where it's just an analog cacophony. Like her shit is like it's very unprocessed. Like it's waves without much to them. You know what I mean? Like seems like it's just if it's in software, it's an init patch with like just like a little something. All of her shit just sounds really rudimentary. But again, she does it in a way where eventually when she gets to the top of her songs and the top of the chorus, you've layered so many of these different instruments and patches and all these things together that now you end up with that like almost LCD sound system thing. Just this revolving door of constantly bleeping and blooping shit that somehow just meshes together. It just makes me mad because it's like what I'm basing this track on is the BPM and rough structure of Dark All Day. I was like, I have this sample. The tone that I'm looking for is like the tone in the save room sample is dark somewhat. So I was chopping it up, trying to mess with the pitch and the intonation and just trying to go up and down with it to create whatever I could find. And like ended up getting something or whatever. And then I was like, okay, it's a 134 synthwave track. So I gotta get into I got to get in here and try to find those types of sounds. I found a couple, but then, you know, you start thinking like, yeah, I'm getting a little derivative here. Something is a little bit amiss in terms of like what makes Gunship what it is in essence is a sense of atmosphere and space, and there's things happening that aren't quite noticeable. That don't sound as empty as what I have. That's the challenge, is making this sound not empty.
I feel like you're stepping on a whole other thing that we're
What? What do you mean?
like you just talking about this is stepping on the whole other idea.
No. When we get
like,
to actually do that, we're gonna talk a little bit about this, like but more about how we did it, less about what problems we're having with it. I mean, we could talk about that too. I'm not saying anything about how I did anything. I figured that would be what we would talk about, right? Because that's what they did.
Yeah.
On the flip, when they flip the samples, they're like, "Here's how I broke all this down and whatever." I just wanted to mention that just because I was thinking about it all morning. I mean, I have been. Anyway. What else? What you got there?
A call from Justin.
Uh-oh. Put him on. Put him on the pod.
All right.
Get him on the horn. Let's see what he wants.
Hey Justin, me and Brent are recording a podcast right now. What's going on?
Ooh.
It doesn't get more meta than this, Justin.
Glorious. Can I swear in this one, or you're gonna crucify me for it?
You can swear, you just can't say any hate speech that I know you like to spout around.
Sweet. Oh, shit, this. Okay,
Hate speech.
well, Mr. Podcast, while you're in a podcast, I don't know. What time are you guys gonna be done with that?
Probably in like an hour or so.
All right, I'll give you a jingle. Just trying to figure out everything for my birthday because Hero Bust is Saturday night, so I don't think I can do anything Saturday night. But I figure if we do something Saturday afternoon, why can't we just all do it in the afternoon and then go to Hero Bust all together?
All right. We'll talk about it.
What was on Sunday?
Yeah.
We'll get Brent on the line too.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
We'll do it.
Give me a jingle after you're done with us.
Yeah, we'll do a nice three-way caller. All right.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
That's weird. I thought he was thinking about Sunday for the party part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait. We'll see.
All right. I was actually kind of looking forward to that because like, I don't even know what that would be like. What friggin' where would he even do it? Where would a party even happen?
Well, he lives in a different place now.
Right. I don't even know where he lives or what is
There's
going
room
on
for
with
a
any of that.
party. There's room for a
There's
party.
room for a party. That's a good album title.
I was there. There's room for a party.
Welcome to the party. I've been so preoccupied with doing this song that I sort of lost sight of what I really wanted to do before that, which was
Drugs.
yes, do a bunch of drugs and then do a big old hot house hour-long mix. And I was gonna call it Hot House, and the logo was gonna be a tomato.
Oh, nice. I like it.
I was gonna do like a big plump tomato, and then map the text so that it was kind of like the tomato, like
sticker.
peel or the sticker. Yeah,
that's.
I'd either do the sticker
It's gotta
or
be the
like
sticker, dude.
yeah, I can make like a comically oversized sticker on the side of the tomato that says Hot House on it in like the Del Monte font. That'd be cool. But I wanted to do this like hour-long, very focused BPM thing, like doesn't really move a lot. Like moves from like maybe like 128 to 1 or maybe 120 to 135 or something like that. The 135 is a little fast. But I wanted to do like a happy house type of thing that had some 90s in it. Do some like what it spurred me onto it was like Don Diablo doing all of these like remixes lately of like really popular. I mean, he's always done remixes of popular songs, but it feels like he's done like a million of them lately. One of them was High Hopes, which I liked a lot, like his treatment of that. And then I also love there was a fucking other wicked sweet one. I have to look at the singles here. No, the Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, the Mark Ronson Miley Cyrus tune that just came out. He did a wicked good remix of too. And he does high
songs. They're 90s songs.
Well, no, I wanted
you're
to
saying
sprinkle
90s style. Or you're saying he doesn't like a 90s style?
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to, because when I was listening to these songs, the big piano riffs, those house piano riffs.
Yeah, the super saws.
Dun 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 dun. Like
those are super saws, baby.
That type of thing I like a lot. Don Diablo uses it ad nauseum. It's basically the basis of how he writes this type of music. And when I had heard all of those, like I'm thinking of like Another Night by Real McCoy because it's got the same pianos in it. Another night, another dream, another waits you like a thief. So I was like, I'm gonna try to take at least like I'll split the set list down the middle, and for every few modern house tracks I do, I'll do some 90s ones that match kind of. Mm-hmm. And then the thing that would tie it all thematically is there's a remix of 1999 by
Prince,
Charlie XCX. I wish it was Prince. I wish there was one that was like that because that would work thematically as well. But there's a remix by Alpha Love of 1999 that the lyric literally is
tonight we're gonna party like it's
no. What is it? I wanna go back to 1999. Something around my old neighborhood. Wanna go back to 1999. And then I'd be like, okay, once I hit that's like the peak of the set, go back to 1999. And then I would pick a song from 99 that's like the hottest shit, the hottest house song of 99, and then go at it that way.
Oh.
So that was kind of my idea. So like Hot House, and like the description of the whole thing is like a collection of the house today that's sort of informed by the house of yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a lot of plans, it sounds like.
The only thing about this is that, and this is where I don't know what the answer is, maybe.
Maybe I got
Is
the
it
answer
more
for you.
valuable to do a recorded set on my like sit here, plan the cues, sit down and do everything in software, and then start it and do a full 1 hour take, like even mistakes, like just be like, I'm going to sit here and do a one take Timmy for an hour long planned out 90s house music set. And I'll rehearse it a couple times just to get the idea together and the order of everything,
Yeah,
and then record it.
that's where you gotta go. Oh,
Because there's a lot of scenarios where I've seen it done where you just pick a BPM in Logic and then start loading the tracks in and then create software mixes. Because there's a lot of producers that do that too.
Yeah, but
I don't really know.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of you? What you're trying to do?
I mean, it does seem disingenuous from like an artistry perspective, like trying to be
not artistry,
a better.
But like, yeah, just like, don't you feel like the whole reason you want to set this up is so that you could, pop it out or
kind
like
of groove with it and sort of feel it as I'm going and make changes and stuff and have it. But yeah, you're right.
Have fun with
like
it
the spontaneity of it. Yeah. Sitting here for 2 hours on a fucking like mouse and shit in.
What are you gonna get out of that? Just mouse of shit in. You personally,
that's true.
Absolutely nothing.
No. That's you're.
It's
you're
not
totally
like you
right.
gotta put this up for someone to listen to.
Well, I'd like to. I'd like to
okay, you want to put it up for someone to listen to, but it's not like anyone's expecting it. So it's not expected to be
what
perfect.
I want. I'll be honest with you. Like I don't when I do things like this, like obviously one of the things that in my life makes me like the most happy, like inside of a moment,
drugs,
like easily. Well, there's sometimes involved. The thing that most makes me like happy in a moment is just going out to a fucking venue and sitting down. I don't care if anybody looks at me. I don't care if I want people to give a shit because they're going to get a better, you know what I mean? It's this thing. It's like stack it up. Like if I start in here and then people get a little bit like sexier with it and I'll be like, oh, and then I notice them doing that. And then I'm going to go a little bit. And then that's how that works. That's my favorite thing in the world.
They want
is
it, so
being able to step it right.
I
want to be able to step shit up
for it.
Which is why playing out to doesn't matter if it's 20 people. It doesn't matter if it's 100 people.
Doesn't matter if it's Justin.
It doesn't matter if it's Justin. What I want more than anything is the opportunity to be able to.
It does matter if it's Justin. It does matter.
Well, you got to change your set if it's Justin.
No, you got to impress Justin.
Because there are some people who know and some people who don't.
In case you didn't know.
The funny thing about DJing is that you can go out to the wedding and do a fader set where I don't care about what's happening with my BPMs. I don't care about setting something on a cue. I don't care about drop swapping. I don't care about trying to like EQ the bass out of another thing so that I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to make sure everything sounds okay.
Nope. Don't worry
about that. And then occasionally I might, if I find myself in a pocket, like again, it always seems like the easiest thing for me to do in that
disco.
Always. Disco, like 4 to the floor or 90s, that always works, and gangster rap works too. Like if I'm in,
that's how you get out.
You could the way you get out of your 90s or disco or like the 128 is to just get yourself a backspin and then go into some fucking Blackstreet, like roll it right into No Diggity, and then from No Diggity you can build like a
A
fucking
house.
like 6-song
6 house. A
gangster
mansion.
rap like you're able to like without any problems beat match like 6 songs that are Still Dre and fucking all those same beats. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, and to the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg.
He
Like it's
counts
all
it
the
for
same.
ya.
You just they count them out. But so that'd be the only thing that in a way of like creativity that I would do out in a wedding.
3 and 1, 2, 3 and 2, 4. What is that? 3 and 2. It's 4 quarter notes. So it's what is that? It's 16/8. That's a 16/8 song. Is that how that works?
Well, and then it gets even worse. Ready to make an entrance, so back on up.
Well, no, that's just it would be a quarter note 1, a quarter note 2, 3 and 2 is 4/8, and then a quarter note.
Yeah.
But if there's 4/8 notes, then each quarter note would have 4/8, and there's 16 quarter notes, so it's a 16/8. I think
This musical nerd break is brought to you by Skillshare. Go online and use the promo code Jack It Off for your free 20% off membership to Skillshare.
Completely wrong. It's basing that only on his ready to make an entrance. That's
because we're about to rip shit up.
I think that's 2. I don't know. Never mind. I don't care. I was literally just trying to figure out the time signature to him going 1, 2, 3 into the 4.
So what I was saying was that what I derive the biggest sort of joy out of most of the time is obviously my favorite thing in the world, the most ideal circumstances that I would ever be able to find myself under is that the reason why we always DJ for our friends is because they ultimately usually have the same like musical inclinations that we do. They like the same things. So like you would hope that if the Justins of the world threw a birthday party and his girlfriend is into the same music that he is, and hopefully her friends would appreciate that type of music, and hopefully his friends would appreciate that type of music. If we build a 30-person party out of this thing, right? If we build a 30-40 person party, you'd have enough.
Got that many friends.
Oh, we'll figure it out, baby. It doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. What it comes down to is when you get to play that type of music that usually isn't commercially viable in the normal DJ space. Like if you go downtown in Saratoga, nobody's going to appreciate your future bass set. It's just not going to happen for you. Nobody's going to appreciate but that's the difference. That's what you want. What you want is the same thing as like an artist, right? Somebody who paints a painting and doesn't paint the thing that everybody else is painting. What eventually you want to happen is for people to come out to see your paintings because they like them better because they're different. You want to be known for a specific style that's different from everybody else's. But in order to pave the way for that, you have to get the exposure with playing the shit that people want to hear. It's just like any other art form. So what the problem is that what everybody wants to hear at a bar is typically
Thank You Next.
What?
Right, that's a song. That song by Ariana Grande. Everyone wants to hear that
right.
song.
They want to hear.
Is that the one?
They want to hear that. No, but here's the difference, though.
No, that one's
here's
not the
how
one,
you.
is it? What's the other one?
Well, there's 7
I
rings.
Want It, I Got It. Is that her?
I'm
basing all my knowledge
Dylan,
of
you know what
Ariana Grande on TikTok.
You know what the better answer to the question is? Like, what do they want to hear? They want to hear the stuff that they liked from 15 years ago. That's the answer. The answer is what was
My Chemical Romance.
That's what they want to hear.
That's what everyone wants to hear.
They want to hear some shit where it's like, and you know what I always fantasize about in my head is like being able to do something like that where the best examples of it are like when we were at Slander and they did Aerosmith, where you've crafted this thing, right? That's like this big story, this big explosive thing that Slander is really known for. It's almost bordering on like metal, right? Like Slander, Nightmare, these types of things. So they've done this thing. They've brought you to like the fucking solar system. And then they just go, I don't want to close my eyes. And it's like, whoa! Like, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? But that's the best part, is that you want to pick that song or few songs that are just gonna. Marshmello had it with Sweet Dreams. When he comes from Wolves. I've been running through the jungle. I've been running with the wolves to get to you, to get to you, to get to you. And you're like, what again? Like, because you love that song. Everybody loves that song.
Everyone loves Helena, right?
So when you're building, but that would be the best one, right? Because if you were out at a bar, if it was a young group, younger, not necessarily waspy people, you want like locals 20 to 30. You know what I mean? Like in that, like where that music would have been relevant. And then if you're constructing your set,
if they're at a bar, they're at least 21.
Well, no, I mean like what the 21 to, what would it be? 21 to 35.
35.
Yeah, 33 probably would have been all right. We're talking about when...
We're splitting hairs here at this point, I think.
Well, yeah. But the point I want to make is people like to hear a thing. Like, the best way to put it is like, what happened to you when this song was playing? Or if it doesn't get that specific, it's what time in your life was this song important to you? It's a marker on a specific moment that's what you're really trying to get to the core of when you're doing something like this. You're trying to create something that makes you happy to play it. Like the compromising on things like remixes and stuff. Like one of the ones that I pride myself the most in, and it's a track that I didn't even create, but I would have loved to have been the guy that made it, was the Anki remix of Everybody that I always use. Like it pretty much is like it's like a silver bullet kind of. If shit is just destroyed, like I can't do anything, I can't get anybody going, nothing's working forever. That track is like, if I couldn't re-download that track, I should have it in like 5,000 different places. So if I can't re-download that track, I'm fucked, because it's worked 100% of the time. I've never been able to not play it and get people going on it. It's something about the half tempo of it, and when it breaks off into the two parts, there's the slow halftime part, womp 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 womp, and then it starts twisting in these other song parts to it. Everybody just looks at each other like, oh, because it's like it sounds like a song that's being remixed live in front of you. That's why it's cool, because it's got like these parts that come in, these little samples. It's got that, and then when it hits double time at the end, then it's like a techno song, because it does so it'll go womp 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 womp, and then the second break is boom 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 boom. So everybody, the whole song gives you everything. It gives you the whole everybody back on the floor. Fucking, it's everybody. It's Backstreet Boys. This is my childhood. Everybody's gonna try to do the dance. It's the easiest trick in the book, that one. And so that's where I like the idea of creating something that satisfies me, like when I'm playing it, when I'm doing something. Yes, it is a very sexual feeling. Trust me. I want to be able to pick songs modern songs, but I don't want to just play the regular version of it. That's dumb to me. It always feels stupid for me. Like if I'm gonna play 1999, the Charlie XCX shit, I'm gonna pick the remix of it. If I'm gonna most things, if I'm putting together a set and I'm like, here's the songs that I want. First thing I'm typing into Google is that song remix. See if there's anybody that did a good one, not just some thrown together fucking like bullshit on YouTube. I'm looking for the Don Diablos and like the respectable artists doing remixes of the songs I like. And then with a few of those, a few throwbacks, then you have this very nice cohesive set of material that I can be happy with because there's remixes, and the crowd can be happy with because, oh, it's like that song, but it's not the same thing. Like, you know, they can get at least a little bit of their jollies knowing that it's the Backstreet Boys, but it's my fucking insane version of the Backstreet Boys or whatever it happens to be. So, where was I headed with that?
I
Oh, yeah,
have
Justin.
no clue.
Justin's party. Dylan.
I don't even know if he's having it after that phone call.
That's why I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed, Dylan. Because I look forward to stuff like that. I get way too excited. You know how I am.
I know how you are, Brent.
I get way too worked up. I sit here, I put together big old playlists, and then I sort through everything, and then I download it all. And I take my controller out, and I press buttons, and then nothing happens.
And then you clap your hands. Yay.
I clap my hands I clap my hands on the on the builds. Like I'm just like I'm running through the jungle. Oh, Justin's gonna love this. Running through the woods to get to you.
Bum, 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 bum.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, it's just like the show. I can do it. Like, and sometimes you got to put some yacht rock in there. You got to get some yacht rock going. You got to pick one of those songs. You got to pick like a Phil Collins. Oh, like one of those sets where like it would be so cool if you incorporate like just a break where it's just the first part of In the Air Tonight. Like that's the best when you have that, like there's something in there that's just like, yeah. And the intro too. I always like the idea of doing intros that are old songs. Like doing something where you can spin the old song into something new. Like if I I always loved the idea of doing the Separate Ways intro, where like it's just start with the song. It's just the song, and then you create a tool where it just comes into something else. Like if it's like a
Mine was always Wild Boys by Duran Duran.
Oh yeah, that I remember that because like
there's a certain point where that song just goes with the drums.
Well, because it's like, yeah, it's like world music. It just starts getting like bigger and bigger and bigger with the drums and all the toms. That's what makes it like the
yeah.
And you could just roll that beat like right into some shit where it's just like like you could just go. That'd be awesome. Yeah, there's a few where like or like something funny, like one that's like kind of funny, like Careless Whisper, or like All Night Long, or like the Ghostbusters theme, like just shit like that that's like funny. That would be a fun break too. I always thought a good one to sample would be That's the Way It Is by Bruce Hornsby. That's just the way it is. Doodly, doodly, doodly. You take those pianos.
Yeah.
But you know, now I'm sad. Justin just put a damper on my plans to go see a real DJ. Stupid. It's horrible. I don't want to see a real DJ. I want to pretend to be a real DJ. It's more fun to me. And look, I don't even, to be honest with you, I know it'll be fun, but I don't even give a fuck about Hero Bust. I don't even listen to any of this shit. I don't, it's not anything. You'll send me ones every once in a while, and I'll be like, oh, that's a banger. But that's it. That's all my whole experience.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was the same thing. It was the same thing as what you sent me the other day, where it was like, I called it what the hell was the genre I called it? It was like I choose to call this like something bass. I can't remember what the hell the end of it was. I can't even remember the song you sent me.
It was a Flux Pavilion song. I got it.
Oh
right here.
yeah.
Bass Wank, you said.
Bass wank, that's what it was. Cause it's one of those songs where the drop is a like the drop is like something gross.
Party Starter.
Yeah, that's the
Flux
one.
Pavilion. Yeah.
Like, what's funny about the beginning of that song, the keyboard in it, how it's like it kind of sounds like an 80s thing. It kind of sounds like a Beverly Hills Cop patch.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny how the intro dubstep songs sometimes, because it kind of all sounds like that. It's kind of like Dubba Johnny, how he's like, you got to establish the melody, and it's always that that whiny thing, like that thing is where I'm just like, that's where I'm just shy. And stuff like that. And then on the other side of it, the thing that I always hated was Abstract. Like how his shit is just that, like, that super up tempo, like, I forget what it's called, but like, it's always the same thing.
Yeah,
it's just that it's always that. It's the same thing. I don't even know what it is though. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, me too. I can't remember.
It's like stepping. It's like shuffling music. You know what I mean? Like it's it's like that. It's like that shuffle shit that you can like move. You could do the fuck. It's almost like doing the damn. It's like swing music. Yeah, it's like cantina music. That's what Abstract makes.
Yeah.
It's bassy cantina music. And it was just the same shit over and over and over. I can't stand it.
Future House, kind of.
Yes. Yeah, probably. But his is way more grimy than what I would consider Future House. I would think Future House is more similar to like
Bass House.
Bass House. That's the one. Yeah. That's it. That's what I was trying to think of.
Because it's got the house beat with the like the
dub bass over. Yeah. That's not. I like house music because it sounds
happy.
Like it. Yeah. I don't feel like those two items really mix together pretty well.
It's more focused on the bass part. That's why it's Bass House and not regular house. Regular house, you get the.
But then, funnily enough, like Future Bass,
Future Bass is completely different. Yeah,
fucking love Future Bass. That's the thing. Is like some of the naming conventions are a little weird. Future Bass, I just like because it's shiny. Everything is little fucking droplets of water and big old metal clanging sounds and super compressed little keyboards and shit. That's the best. So sprinkle some glitter on it. Yeah, just shit like that. Oof, gets me every time. Well, and then also off the cliff songs, which we were talking about the other day, because like that for me, like those like colossal like Illenium sidechain, like like I love that stuff where it just goes. The song just blanks out with nothing and then just comes back with this colossal, like really big. I feel like I was thinking about it the other day. It's got to be one of the hardest types of music to make, to me in my mind, like from a technical perspective, because of how much you're doing in the software itself to link together these particular sounds and create them and make them as big as they are. Like watching Virtual Riot do the most recent 4 Producers Flip is basically a master class in understanding the links between a multi-track session. Like he has all of the layers of the song and there's a billion of them. And then he's just like, yeah, in this, we're going to set the side chain on this. And it's like, but how do you know what 2 parameters to set the side chain on? or whatever you're doing. It's like this is going to go on a keyboard, and I'm going to link this to the kick, and then once it's linked to the kick, then we're going to get the whoop 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 whoop. It's going to move, but what parameter is it on? Is it on the volume? Is it on a filter? What are you doing? And so then I'm just like, that's got to be why
Sidechain's
this
a compressor, so it should be on the.
That's always what it is.
Yeah, sidechain it's the compressor sidechained, so it's like
it's moving the.
A compressor is basically what gets through to the audio. So
right.
You're basically moving the.
It's turning it on and off.
Not on and off, but you're moving the shape of the graph that says what
the
frequencies pushed to the like the master track or whatever.
Is it like high cut and low cut? Kind of like
but it's not a filter.
Oh, a
it's
compressor
not,
is
it's literally cutting out. It's not filtering out.
Okay. So it's not like a gate.
No, gates kind of like a gate. But
a gate is based on volume.
Yes, but it like when you sidechain, it's like moving the shape of the output.
Right.
Like what's getting outputted.
So like if
you
you
can
tie
do it with a filter, but it's not.
But that's more like an automation.
What a filter does. Mm-hmm. That's not like a sidechain is literally a part of a compressor.
Okay, so when you're sidechaining something in a piece of software, it's not necessarily saying what a sidechain is you take a filter and assign it to another track for reference. It's a sidechain is always a part of a compressor, like by default. When you select a sidechain to put on a track, you're compressing it based on another track.
You're using the compressor of the software and using the sidechain feature, and then basically when like if you do it to a kick drum, whenever the kick drum kicks, it'll like
throttle it.
Yeah, it'll throttle it down, and then it'll open back up. So that's why you get like that. It basically closes it when the bass drum kicks, and then open backs up. But it opens up like you're turning a knob, basically.
Yeah.
So it's not like off on. It's closing and opening. So that gives you that
swell, the big swell, right? That's just a very unique feature of that music. I'm sure it's used elsewhere, but it just seems like it's almost like an instrument in future bass. Like it becomes like a larger part of the track. I think probably tying it to the kick drum is what makes it that way, because it's such a large thing. It creates that super high.
Yeah, well, it comes down, the kick drum comes forward, but then it comes back.
So and the kick drum happens less often than any other feature of the track.
Yeah, and that's why, but that's why you get like more of a punch with the kick drum, is because when you're usually putting the sidechain on pads or whatever, so like when these chords are going over the top, the kick drum's coming to the front, and then the chords are coming back. So you're getting like this like
a play, like the chords are still below it, but
like
you're filtering out
call and answer,
call and response. Yes, exactly. There are parts of this track that I'm trying to do that have that in it, kind of, but not sidechained. I was trying to build a stupid fucking lead that cycles, like it just pressing it and it just goes yang 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 yang, like that type of thing. Trying to make it so that behind it I could hear something else.
So like in Serum.
Yeah, I was using LFOs to just whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Shit like
That's
that.
just the shape of your LFO.
Yeah. I was
the shape and this like the rate will get you like that.
It's just it's funny how like what you have to do in order to figure out shit, and all it comes down to is just like you Google synthwave bass Serum. You watch the guy make it. It's like, oh, okay, that's how I make it.
It'll get you there. And then once you see him make it, you like kind of you do it the same exact way, and then you're like, but how can I
but it's
it
not.
Yeah,
I gotta do something better.
So maybe I'll.
That's how it worked.
A little bit of noise.
Was like, maybe I should put a different. I should put a different wave on both of these.
Use a different wave.
Yeah. That's the fun. Wow. That's a big old long ass discussion about music. Let's wrap this thing up by saying the words. Have you played any good games lately?
Tetris Effect. Finally got Tetris Effect, Brent.
Finally, Tetris Effect,
Finally.
because it was on Dylan's cheap games list 2019.
25% off. Save a quick tenner. Forget it for $30. And boy howdy, was I
$30.
missing out.
Oh, how
What?
come I didn't know this?
What?
You could play Tetris Effect for free for 3 days.
Oh, the weekend demo. Yeah, sorry, that was this weekend.
Well, I mean, wait a minute. The
There's-
trial, which can be
there's-
downloaded, is fully playable, and also
Until Monday, I think.
Let me see what it is
It's a
or how
demo.
long it is. Well, no, free weekend starts tomorrow, February 8th. Oh, so it did start on Friday, and wraps up the morning of the 11th. So
Monday
tomorrow,
morning.
tomorrow morning. Yeah. Well, what can you do?
It's
How good is it?
It's really good. It's a brilliantly crafted Tetris game. Just like, so I'll give you an example where like I saw the genius happening. It's all tied to music, right?
Yep.
So like
Which is great already.
When you like move the pieces over or flip the pieces, you get like a little blip that kind of goes along with the song playing in the background. And so there's this one where it's basically a jazz piece. So you're moving and you're kind of like hitting like piano notes and stuff, and it kind of sounds all discombobulated as it's supposed to because it's a jazz piece. But like as you're moving the pieces and dropping them and doing all this stuff, like it sounds like a discombobulated piece. And then it speed. So like they play with the speed of the game itself while in the mode. So then all of a sudden it like speeds up, and so you're starting to drop these pieces faster, but you're starting to play faster too. Like the piano part's starting to play faster because you're
starting
moving
to get a little
faster.
bit more like.
Yeah, and it's starting to come together as a song almost, and then like it'll like go for like a couple minutes, and then it'll slow back down again. But like the song is already broken into like the main song itself. So it just does cool things with like build ups and releases.
That's cool.
Through like just the game mechanics.
Yeah.
And that was like the one example where I saw it where I was like, I get. Oh,
This is what everybody was talking about.
I understand it, and it was of oddly enough on like the one that most people didn't like. That like I heard like every time like you hear about Tetris Effect, it's like that jazz song, but like that was the first thing where I was like, oh, like because you can kind of hear it in some of the other stuff, but just the way they did the speed mixed with the piano, it like I don't know, it was actually like the best example of what they were trying to do. Probably because it was such a simple thing where it was just piano, as opposed to the other ones where like it's like this big EDM song and you're putting like little bloops and bleeps in the background, so it's not as
Right. I was just looking at the trailer, which of course they're going to use the big EDM song for the trailer.
And the music is good. Like I like all the music, even like the weird, fucking like the native stuff, like where it's just like Congo drums and chanting and stuff. Like even that stuff's really good.
Yeah, that's a fucking hell of a good looking game. Oh, and then is PS Plus put anything over the top of that?
No.
Oh, damn! I thought I wasn't logged in there for a second.
No, you're not getting anything.
Well, patient gamers, Dylan.
And then we started playing Apex Legends.
We sure did. Which now we found out via Andrew that we were playing it on the wrong platform. Does Jess have a PS4?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought we. Oh, we did play one thing on there with her before. What the hell did we play?
Black Ops.
That's right. We did play Blops.
Yeah,
maybe we
talked about last time where we were kind of chatting about it. It wasn't even released yet. It wasn't even announced at that point. And then they came out and crushed all your hopes and dreams and said that Titanfall 3 is not a thing. This is the thing.
I don't know if it's going to be a while. I don't
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a while.
buy into the bullshit that it's not a thing. I don't think they're Valve. I don't think Respawn is
Well,
like Valve and they're like Titanfall 3 is never going to happen.
they never said that. They said there is no Titanfall 3 because there was rumors that
Right,
there.
that this was Titanfall 3, but it
No,
was
no, no.
what it was.
There's rumors that they were working on Titanfall 3 and this. But
Right, but they weren't
said,
working on that.
No, we started Titanfall 3. We were trying to make some, like, and it kind of evolved into this. So whatever they had for
Right.
Titanfall 3 does not exist. So
I'm just hoping that what they do is they're like, let's design for next generation and go for the next development cycle and start
It
Titanfall
probably
3
will.
for whatever the next platform is.
well, the thing is, okay, so Titanfall 2 was made, and Titanfall 1 and Apex Legends was made on a it's like they kind of like souped up a old source, yeah, source engine. So it can only look so good.
Right.
And they were trying to flip Titanfall 3 really quickly after 2 because they still had the same engine and they didn't want it to take so long and have it not look as good as like have it not look as good if it came out like this year. If you put it up against everything else that came out this year, it's gonna look like crap because it's on that source engine. Like you see Apex Legends,
Right.
it looks good, but it's not perfect. Like you still get like popping and stuff because they're pushing that engine that they have to its limits.
Yeah.
So they try to like flip around to Titanfall 3 real quick, and like they weren't getting anything out of it, but then they ended up getting this out of it. So if a Titanfall 3 does come out, it's going to be on a completely new engine. Probably since they're EA now, it'll be on Frostbite,
Yep.
which Battlefield 5
That's
is
what's on
and stuff.
right.
Yeah, so like that's kind of the.
I mean, I can.
So if you get a Titanfall 3, it's gonna look very pretty, and it'll probably be on next gen at this point. So there's your
Can't wait.
PS5.
Can't wait to get my PS5 launch pack with fucking Titanfall 3.
I mean, or you could just buy it on PC since you have one of those.
That is also true, but I'll have to get a fucking 2080. An RX, get an RX 2080.
By that point, you probably need a new graphics card.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way. I can't even get
4
by on the
years.
I can't even get by on the 1060 sometimes with even like Apex Legends. And that's not even a very graphically intensive game. I kind of turned a couple things down on that just to make sure it was like super fucking fast. Cuz I kind of needed it to be. But now I kind of don't want it that way. I want to get on the console with all the slow controller people.
Yeah.
Try to play it that way. So we played Apex Legends. I like it, and I think I could grow to like it even more.
Don't you love me?
Even though, could you grow to love Apex Legends, Brent? Does it remind you of Titanfall? Well, that's the thing, is that it does very. I mean, I like that they kept the whole weapon set, like that all the weapons that's in there are the same. I like that a lot.
Well, it's in the same universe.
Yeah, and I
You got
also like
the giant dinosaur robot, giant dinosaur things walking in the ocean. Remember those in Titanfall? Like the dinosaur
on
robot?
what map?
I don't know. They're like in the background of.
Yeah.
I
I think I know what you're talking.
They look like that painting. They look like that Linkin Park's music video. What I've Done, I think it was. No, it was before that. It was off Meteora.
Yeah.
What was like the first song off Meteora?
Faint?
No, it wasn't Faint. Faint was the one with the lights.
Yeah. Then Meteora.
Somewhere I Belong, I think it was.
Okay.
If you look up the music video Somewhere I Belong, they were in that famous painting with the big long-legged thingy mabobbers. So
Oh, Dolly? Is that what we're
yeah,
talking
I
about?
think so. I don't
The
know.
the big tall-legged elephants?
Yeah. The things that are in the ocean on the Apex Legend maps look like those things, which were also in Titanfall 2. So it's the same
Thank you for that.
universe.
Uh,
We got there, Brent.
what I was what I was getting at was I like also that some of the familiar mechanics that you got with perks in Titanfall 2 were available across the classes.
Yeah,
Like
the
when
stim.
you play as when you play as the medic or when you play as support, you get the stim speed.
No, the Brigadier gives you that. I think you need to look at him again, Brent, because I think you're using somebody that
No,
maybe.
when I was using the what's the one with the health drone?
I don't know. I don't know their names.
When I was
Yeah.
using the character with the health drone,
Yeah.
when I got damage, it automatically engaged a stim type
Oh, that.
effect.
Are you sure that was her?
Yes,
Okay.
because the
Because
idea with that character as a support character is you got to be able to get out of areas quickly. So they give you the stim type of thing for you to be able to run quickly.
Yeah.
The well, and then also like
Because one of them, like one of their things is like, hey, we run fast. Like you hit your Q is you run fast. Of course. Yeah, you can't look up the characters online. Oh wait, you can.
yeah, they got them in the
Bangalore. It's her. Some of her stuff is her
has she
passive.
got a quick thing?
Taking fire while sprinting makes you move faster. Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking of. So if you if you sprint and shoot, taking fire. Oh, yeah. If you're getting shot at and you're sprinting it, you move faster.
What's the
Yeah, that was the Bangalore.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. That was exactly what I was thinking of.
Yep, yeah,
was
'cause hers
that
is-
when you take fire, she runs faster.
Yeah.
And then the combat medic one is kind of boring. But the bloodhound guy I thought was really cool. And the one that I didn't get to use was that I didn't realize that I could do because I forgot about the other ability was the other passive ability, or that I wasn't paying attention to, was I could see tracks of people.
Yeah.
And that's like all the time. I just didn't realize it where I was like looking. I wasn't like looking around, being like, "Oh, somebody's been over here." But the Beast of the Hunt thing that I was trying to figure out, it just says enhances your senses, allowing you to move faster and highlighting your prey.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like a heat signature thing. Plus, I move faster.
Well, everything turns black and white, and
And I
all
see
the
I
things
see
are red,
enemies
like
in like yellow
they're
and red, like
yeah.
hot enemy. Well, actually, now that I'm seeing it on the video, what's really cool about when you engage that mode, especially if you're close to people, you can see a ghost trail of them while they're going. So basically, if you're behind them and you turn it on, you're going to see their footsteps, and then you're going to see like sort of a halo effect, and then you're going to see them. So you can sort of follow their path into a thing, and then as they're moving, you can see like a heat signature come off the ground, which is cool as shit, I find. But there would be never a point where I would be able to engage this in the way that they've illustrated it, because you can't get close enough to a person without dying.
You can't.
Huh?
You can't get close enough to a person without dying.
No, I can't.
Everyone that kills you can get close enough to a person without dying.
Absolutely. Well, then the other thing was when I was looking at the other guy that I really wanted to play as when I saw the trailer, which was one of the Mirage. That was the guy that I was like, that is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. You could be standing in a building and hit a psych out, so that you stand there, you're standing in a doorway, and then there's like a path or like down the stairs or whatever. If you see a dude that's like out there and you're hiding from him, you could just fucking send that and run the other direction, because they're going to think it's you and get confused and give you enough time to go the other way.
Yeah, that's a very like a MOBA ability.
Yeah,
that you see a lot.
Well, in the in the vanishing act thing, his ult, the decoy thing, where you create a ring of yourself. So if somebody gets up on you and you press it, you can keep running out of your own circle, and they've shot all of you, copies of you already. So
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, back to what we were talking about. The pinging system. Out of control. Love the pinging system. Should be in every game.
Yeah, I think everybody is going to be talking about that for a really long time, like in terms of just how could we have not had that, or at least in some capacity.
Especially for a squad-based game.
Yeah.
That is a battle royale that requires looting up and everything.
Yeah.
Like, Andrew literally said he won a game with randoms last night because of the pinging system.
It feels good. You don't have to think too much about it. It's not like the only time you're going to have to put the ring up is to do something specific, because the game is just going to predict what you're doing with your center mouse button. It's like, you point off in the distance, there's an enemy there.
Yeah.
If you're hovering over a weapon and the thing comes up, there's the weapon. It just knows exactly what it is that you're doing.
Top-notch stuff.
Sad and olive. I crushed a salad before this.
Yeah.
I made like a chicken Greek salad, dude.
I had a gyro platter from Simeon's last night.
Oh my god. Dude, I could totally go for that. A fucking gyro. Oh. It's amazing. Made another bulletproof coffee this morning.
Yeah.
Whew. You think you've drank coffee before. That's your baseline. Your baseline is coffee. Like, you could drink a coffee and be like, that's enough to keep me alive for now.
No, it's not.
What? Well, no, I'm saying, like, even lower than that. Like,
are you talking about me?
Reaching stasis. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Coffee is to reach like stasis, so that you can then head into G Fuels and chocolate covered espresso beans and intravenous methods.
Caffeine drips.
I don't drink coffee that much, so when I make a fucking bulletproof coffee, it changes the whole dynamic. I don't even understand how it works. I don't understand physiologically why it does what it does, but for some reason, dude, it's like it blows you up. It's like it just changes the game. What you got there? Another energy product worth noting?
Yeah, it's that new.
We're looking for a sponsorship.
That new Game Fuel, the Mountain Dew stuff.
Thought you were out of that shit.
What?
I thought you were out of Red Bull and fucking Mountain Dew and all that nastiness. All right? You like trying new flavors?
Yeah.
It's all the same. This time it's more lime.
So is your
and lemon
coffee that you put butter in, all right?
Look, I'm a refined gentleman.
No, you're not. For 2 weeks, you're a refined gentleman.
For 2 weeks.
Shove it up your ass.
That's the bet. That's the bet. That's the bet that we're on. It's gonna last for 2 weeks. And then after that, I'll go right back to fucking chugging expensive craft beer and sitting around in my cardigan like I am now.
Yep.
Dude, I'm all about today, man. Sitting around in my Asking Alexandria tank top with cardigan with a wolf on it and a pair of athletic what do you call?
Joggers?
Joggers.
Are joggers comfortable? I always look at joggers.
Oh, dude, they're so fucking comfortable, man. It's one of those things where, like, part of the reason why I'm starting to try to drop pounds is because I'm like, I want to be that guy that can wear joggers. Like real ones.
Public?
Not for fat people. Yeah, I want to wear real joggers in public, like expensive ones. I want to be able to put on like a pair of like super expensive tapered Adidas joggers, like
It's got the strip down the side. Oh,
yeah,
maybe those might be more girl ones.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm pretty sure those are unisex. But Not even like because I have a pair of baggy three stripes that I can't wear out in public.
Why not?
Well, look, no, there are no bounds to my trashiness.
Uh-huh.
But my idea is that like I want the kind of joggers that look like pants, that are almost like pants.
Those are called jeggings, Brent.
Well, they're not as tight as leggings. I'm talking about like training. I guess you call it like training pants.
Training pants.
I'm looking on the Adidas website. I'm trying to figure out what the fucking name of these things are.
They call them joggers. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, I searched for joggers, but like this, it's not even these ones. It's like maybe Nike makes a better version of what I'm talking about.
I think they're girl pants, dude.
Girl pants. Nah, I got these fucking kids at work wearing them.
Aeropostale
That's the
makes
thing.
some.
Is that I can't wear them. Like it doesn't come down to a question of
It's 'cause
like
you don't want to get.
I'm 28. Am I really out here trying? Like if I were already doing this, it would have happened when I was 20. Like if I were already trying to get into the jogger life, even though I'm not athletic
wasn't a life,
in the
though,
least
was it?
possible capacity. Huh?
Was that a life before? Like that's a
it's-
recent thing, isn't it?
What joggers?
Yeah.
You know, you might be right on that because it feels like, well, okay, I just want to explain this really briefly. When I was saying like the kids at work, I'm talking about dudes that just like turned 20. Like 19, 20, 21, like in this range. There's guys at work, one specifically that comes into work wearing most of the time athletic style joggers. Mostly basic colors, black, gray, khaki color. Most of the time. They're not like one of them kind of looks like wind pant material. Like it's kind of shuffly. It's like a shuffly material.
Mhm.
And then the other two just look like normal. Like it's weird because you see people wear them and you don't think it's weird because they are wearing them. You know what I mean? They just own that. Like, you know, I never find myself asking the question at my job where I have executives that wear like polo shirts and dress pants every day. And I don't question that either. Like that's just what that is. But at the same time, I'm coming in with dark wash jeans and a t-shirt on pretty much every day. Or like a button up like flannel, something like that or whatever.
Sure.
That's what I'm doing like every fucking day. And these guys come in with joggers and hoodies on. It's like athleisure wear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
Athleisure.
I'm just
And they're not copping this big sports or this big fucking streetwear look. No, nobody's coming in with like tech joggers on with a million zippers and fucking paracords on them.
I want some tech.
Now, I know
joggers.
that's
I've
what I'm
looked
saying.
up some like fucking,
Tech. What is it called?
I can't remember.
There's a
who
name
made
for it.
them.
It's like tech wear
I looked up
or something.
Some good ones. They were reflective.
Yeah. Tech wear? Yeah, it's called tech wear. Affordable tech wear fashion. Dylan, here we go. Oh, lordy, look who's got kanji on his pants.
Dylan?
Oh, Dylan, you gonna get a tactical vest, perhaps?
Oh no, I can't do tactical.
Possibly a strap pocket. See here, Dylan. Look, this is what we're talking about.
Wow,
I'll send you a quick link so we'll get it rolling. We'll get you in the chat with these pants.
I didn't even know Nike sold $650 jackets.
What are they?
I looked up tech wear and this jacket came up. Nike Lab Gore-Tex.
Oh, here's a downfill one on Nike's website for $700.
Yeah, I see that one too.
ACG. This is that bullshit streetwear stuff. Like that's
actually like
oversized
this.
and
This,
but there is but admittedly, there is something appealing about it that only, and I'm saying this as frankly as I can, that is only appealing if you are thin.
Yeah.
It doesn't in any way reflect like I just don't think
Because it needs to be
that I can be out there being a chubby.
It needs to have that flat look to it.
Everything has to lay like that. It all has to have that 6'5" pencil shit to work correctly. And it just doesn't. That's not how it works. But again, Dylan,
Have the high tops too, or the Doc Martens.
those strap pocket joggers on I Am Nocturnal right here. That's what you're talking about. These to me, these are Dylan pants. These are Dylan going out to the show. That's what's happening here. You're wearing your tight ass Tom DeLonge jeans. Like, I can't. That's not how I live my life. I'm tall and fat.
Oh, those are too strappy for me. I don't like the straps.
Too much. They lay kind of flat though. If you look at the pictures,
Don't like the straps. I'm not
so
in high
like
school
this,
anymore.
like
middle
even
school
stuff,
for me.
even stuff where it's like, you more
like
are
the
zipper
zippers.
oriented.
Yes, the zippers and the clasps,
and pockets.
the claps, zippers, pockets, and the clasps to hold the straps. No straps.
Okay.
I did straps before. I had middle school. I had strap pants, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
They looked like golfing pants almost. You remember, like they were plaid and they had the X strap going across the back. Brent remembers.
See,
and I had some raver pants, and I think it was 6th grade. I had like the big with the giant pockets and shit. The fucking raver pants.
Raver pants, dude.
They were raver pants, and they had glow-in-the-dark piping on them. So all the pockets had glow-in-the-dark piping all around them. What the fuck? I was in 6th grade. What the fuck was I doing wearing?
Pew, 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 pew. I like the idea of a jogger. I like the idea of a tapered sweatpant, but again, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the 50 pounds overweight guy trying to chonk his way out with straps on his pants. It's not it doesn't match. This just doesn't work. I can't. So in many ways, the only thing that works for me is
Jinko jeans.
The only thing that works for me is business casual, because that covers up a significant amount of bullshit. A lot. Like getting a super crazy or a super like dark pair of jeans that fit properly, and then tucking in a dress shirt that's got a central line, and then putting a blazer over the top of it to cover all my fat. This works. This always works. It always makes me look better, but I hate it. I don't like how uninspired business casual is. You know, I always wanted to, like, the other goal of like being skinny is like the ability to wear some of that preppy Tommy Bahama bullshit that I see people wearing like in the summer. You know what I'm talking about? Pastel shorts and like button up short sleeve shirts with patterns on them that you get from up in like the J Crew. That's what I want. I want to be able to wear the guy that just occasionally, every so often, I pop on a pair of Wayfarers, pop on a pair of kind of a little bit too short pastel blue shorts, and a button up like white Tommy Bahama kind of raggedy linen shirt. That makes sense? Can you imagine that guy in your head?
Yeah, I can.
Can you imagine him at the yacht club at the regatta? Can you imagine him golfing with the bros? That's what I want to try. I want to figure out how to accomplish that. So that's the games that we played lately. Yeah, you know what? Fuck that for this episode. I don't even give a shit.
Fuck what?
games.
We already did that. We did it for
Yeah,
like
we did it for like
a
we did
half
it for
an
like
hour.
5 minutes, and then it came
talking-
back and looked at pants for 20 minutes.
Here, let me tie it back together. So basically, techwear is if you fell out of a Kingdom Hearts game.
It is very much so.
Having,
Like
having,
there's so many
having
of
just
them.
started playing Kingdom Hearts 1 for the 4th time, farther, nah, I'm not farther than I've ever been, but I'm pretty far so far. A cool 8 hours in.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much. If you want to look like you fell out of Kingdom Hearts, just start your techwear.
Does it feel like Andrew Huang would be the guy to wear techwear out in public? Because I feel like it does. I feel like he's a techwear guy.
I don't think he is.
It seems like that though. Like there's something about Eastern culture that it's like a Subway samurai. Does that kind of give it to you a little bit? People think they're ninjas. Like it's like a mall ninja. Techwear is the new mall ninja because it's all black and gray. Subway samurai. That's my new clothing brand. Subway samurai. It's like, and there's like people with like chains and shit hanging their like thermoses off their pants with the chains and shit. You're wearing all your everyday. It's like you shoved an everyday carry into a ninja.
Yeah, we joke, but I think I just found a new pair of shoes that I want.
It's probably $300, right?
110.
Where are they?
They're just the Lunar Force ones.
Just new ones on Nike.
Yeah.
The black, they look like Timberlands. Oh, the black ones don't. I see the brown ones look like a set like Tim's.
Yeah, they do.
The first one that I see on the results, like, oh, that literally, or no, actually, more appropriately, it looks like a pair of winter boots because it's got that black color block on the front.
Everything needs to be waterproof, I'm learning.
What I've come to realize is that even though I've bought these shitty, horrible looking orthopedic shoes practically, that one thing about them, the black ones that I wear, they're pretty much boots. And they're 100% water repellent. And I can wear them in the winter, no problem, because the base is so thick and like the design of everything is so like military style.
I'm talking about this techwear stuff. Everything's waterproof. Not your fucking orthopedic shoes, Brent.
Hey, they are, and I don't give a shit because remember the goddamn Dyke boots? You remember those?
Yeah.
They were waterproof too. And those were military boots. And I'm going to bet you that if you're looking through your techwear shit, there's probably at least one person with a pair of what the hell were those called?
Doc Martens.
No,
Fries?
those are.
Were they fries?
No. I couldn't afford either one of those.
Bro.
Bates footwear. Bates is the standard military issue tactical footwear. And I bet you, if you look on there, Dill, you're probably gonna see some shit where you're like, huh. It kind of falls right in line with techwear. It's like
you saw my shoes, you shit your pants.
Oh, dude. This is like the shit that Neo would wear in the Matrix. Like, this is the kind of boots that he would, if you look up Bates and footwear.
Yeah,
the tactical section, not the military section. The military section is really big. The tactical section is where it's at.
Well, yeah, tactical.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
Although, actually, these taser ones are pretty fucking cool.
These aren't bad.
What ones?
I don't know. They're on the front page. They look pretty good. All right, we got to stop this.
All right. Everybody, go to Bates.com to get 25% off your order with promo code. With promo code Subway.
JO Tech Corner.
with promo code Subway Samurai at checkout. Mall Ninja. Okay. If you want all of our purchasing advice about streetwear and techwear, go to the description below, and you also will find the audio version of this podcast. Oh, that has been the Jacket Off podcast. We are out of here.